enough is enough and that we're going to stand our ground.
Nobody in Canada is accustomed to having to deal with what this community has been put through.
We're not going away. We didn't die out.
We don't know how far tensions will rise.
We look to our government to help us, and they're not doing anything. They've left us to hang out and dry here.
Ain't nothing gonna drag me off of here, except maybe a bullet between the eyes, and that's the only way you're gonna get me off of this land.
My name is Doreen Silversmith of the Lower Cayuga Nation, and I'm of the Dewistowies or Kildare clan.
My name's Ken Hewitt, and I am a spokesperson of the Caledonia Citizens Alliance.
My name's Dawn Martin Hill. I'm a Mohawk from Six Nations. I live at Six Nations and have lived here since I was 18 years old.
My name is Joseph Zamuto, and my family and I live in Caledonia, and we reside backing onto the Douglas Creek Estates.
It blows my mind that in 2006, I'm still dealing with a group of people who do not understand internationally and globally that we have been acknowledged as the heirs and the owners of these lands unless the Crown enters into agreements with us. They have so not learned anything about our history.
It's not as if we just suddenly one day sprung up on the land and said, hey, we're taking this over now. So, you know, it's been going on a long time through courts, and courts has been stalling and playing games with us and wouldn't sit down with us. And we've written letters and everything and went through the courts, and the government just keeps putting it off and off, you know, so enough is enough.
Simply stated, we can't move. We can't leave this community if we wanted to. We can't sell this home. Most people in this neighborhood cannot sell their home.
Real estate sales were at all-time highs. Construction was going on, and we've just finished an area on one side of Caledonia where it was completed in record time. This was to be a new construction development that looked to be just as promising. Caledonia has been a very, very fast-growing community, one of the fastest in the country for its size, and that's all come to a halt.
What has changed in the community between Six Nations and Caledonia is that the racism is more overt, like it's more out in the open, and it's very blatant, and whereas before it was more or less hidden.
Fucking shoot every single one of them. This is our tribe. This is our white tribe. Yeah. White tribe. White power. Yeah.
I've seen people comment from either side, comment on how we're the lesser breed, if you want to call it that, the lesser life form, as silly as that sounds. We're superior, they're superior, back and forth.
The one memory I have was there was 5 or 6 fair-haired ladies on the lawn screaming, "You effing Indians, you know, you lazy so-and-sos, get the F off our land and out of our way."
It's a terrorist attack, and that's what it is. We're all being held hostage here.
Like, get real. you know, and go scream at the government and go scream at your mayor and go scream at the Henkos for, you know, doing this behind your backs and letting Caledonia pay the price for it. Like, go scream at the appropriate people. We here, on the other hand, have been victimized.
As Caledonians, we feel that we have had our lives disrupted, our businesses and our homes devalued, our freedoms to move about are limited by the actions of this group of protesters.
In this particular case here with the Native community, there's I'm sure animosity from Canadians living locally who see the Native community in benefiting from different tax advantages. Whether they see the whole picture or understand the whole picture is academic. It's what they see, and perception is always reality.
It was an explosive scene last night when hundreds of residents who had gathered for a rally made their way to the barricade, demanding police let them through. One man was arrested. Adding to the fire this morning, Caledonia's mayor made these comments on CBC's morning program about some residents' apparent inability to get to work.
Their homes. They don't have monies coming in automatically every month. They've got to work to survive, and the Natives have got to realize that.
Late this afternoon, an official apology from the town council and a promise the mayor will no longer be the town's official spokesperson.
Even the kids now have caught on, and a lot of it is in a negative light. We don't want to see our little girl grow up that way. I finally broke down in a sense and typed out a letter, an email to Prime Minister Harper. I told him that we are here and he needs to see that. I told him that we are wondering when he will get involved, wondering when he will actually step in and see what is going on.
Whose baby is this, yours? My kids, for a long time, were afraid of white people, terrified actually, and I had to do a lot of, I had to sit them down and have this discussion that these people that are screaming these terrible things at us are not all people, and that there are really good people of all colors.
It's a long-term impact with respect to the social fabrics. It affects them socially. It makes them view the Natives at a different level. It makes the Natives view Caledonia at a different level. And we have to get rid of that poison to be able to move forward and discuss more concretely where we could be 10 years from now, 5 years, 20 years.
Other First Nations people are looking up to us, and they're waiting to see what happens here, to see the end result of what will happen here. And I really believe that we will not fail them, and that we will come to a just, peaceful resolution to this, and that they are looking up to us. I know that.
For Caledonia and surrounding areas, I ask the people occupying the land to go home to their families, communities, and let the negotiators work out a solution. Many of the residents, including our family, know that the occupiers have a message point to make, yet the manner in which it has been put forth has put a strain on the community. Put your efforts in protest towards government sites or offices. For Canada, the federal government needs to put this on top of their agenda. They should have stepped in from the moment this began. While it sounds really conciliatory and he makes a point that the government has been inept, I think to tell us that's the solution to go home is insulting. That is our home. And I wish he understood that, and I wish that he would understand this is our homeland. And if he only understood what little bit of land we have left here, we're more than likely willing to die for.
It's not about a land claim, it's about land restitution and giving back what was illegally taken. I think that we need to get away from Indian Act processes that have bound us to certain ideas around Indigenous people and create a new avenue for these claims to be heard in an expedient manner. I think that they have to stop demanding that we extinguish our Aboriginal title in order to receive a comprehensive land claim. Why would you extinguish yourself to get what's rightfully yours? We've had a lot of patience over 200 years, and I think part of the solution is recognizing that patience is running out. We need to do something, we need to do it now, and if we don't, I would suggest that the outcome for everyone are going to be abysmal. She certainly has some valid points. The government, which I've said along, has to step in and do more. People need to realize the importance of these treaties. We're people, we're sharing the same community. We need to live our lives, and we deserve, what we've worked for, what we have, what we've lived for.
The Crown has to recognize us as the allies that we were and step in and negotiate on a nation-to-nation basis. They have to stop calling us Indians. We're not Indians. Indians are from India. We are Ogwe Howe people, the real people of the land. The Indian Act has to go because it is utterly racist. The returning of our land would be a great step for us. Once they hand that over to us, it would be a great victory for us. Some of us are getting older now, and probably it will be one of our last fights, and that is what I want to see in my lifetime, to see the land returned back to us for future generations. It's frustrating because we do not downplay where they're coming from in terms of their claims and the frustration they have dealing with the governments. We're seeing that firsthand now. We totally respect and understand that. There's no win in this any longer. You can't win from either side locally anymore. There's a level of respect that exists, and that is what has to be focused on. The land, the money, none of that means anything to the community here in Caledonia, and unfortunately, if it means everything to the people of Six Nations, it still will have a dramatic effect on the respect here locally. And it's the respect that has been damaged from taking the stand that they did and not recognizing that the community here has hurt and has been hurting. And while we respect that they have suffered for many, many years, we also have to find ways to work together. And we just haven't been able to come to that grip.
The occupation is more of a short-term issue that needs to be addressed for the benefit of both communities, allowing them to focus on reestablishing relationships. This can only be done through the federal government recognizing the urgency behind all land claims nationally. Once committed by the federal government, the natives then can be reassured that the need to occupy the site is gone. The site then can be beautified with trees and grasses, while the longer-term issues are resolved, title and use. In the solutions, he said occupation of Douglas Creeks. It's not an occupation, you know. It's a land reclamation, so get that clear. Basically, he's almost there, like he's kind of like seeing what we're seeing, and that that we should be together and to, you know, go after the government and not each other. And so I believe that he's almost there, and that's a good idea. And you know, sometimes, because it's really difficult, sometimes, you know, like, I just want to grab these people, like, you know, the government and whoever, the authorities who are oppressing us, and just grab them and shake them up and you know, like, what is it they can't see, you know, like, and sometimes I just wish that they could walk down the streets of our soul and without throwing their garbage and deceit, and really see how we view the world as a whole, and that to see our suffering and where we're coming from as Oklahoma people.